anybody. We are here to change our people's lives. Because the reason we are on the bottom is because we've broken God's commandments.
That's right.
That sister learning that she's an Israelite and starting to apply God's commandments for a woman to wear a dress, that could save her life. It will save her life. Read that.
The book of Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart.
So we should not hate one another. In the black community, that's what we have. We have a lot of hatred. Because as soon as we get out the car, brothers want to say things like, oh, y'all gonna die out here tonight. But yet I see these white men walking up and down the street. Nobody don't say a damn thing to them. Nobody don't touch them. The white man walking up and down here like it's his hood. How the hell that happen? But when brothers who look just like y'all come out here, other brothers want to say things. That's hatred. We got to change that in the black community. Read it again.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart.
What should we do?
But thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
So that's true love according to the Bible. A brother telling you that the things that you're doing is not right according to God's laws. That the things that we're doing as a people is going to either have us end up dead, in jail, or burned alive when the Most High God sends his son back. Read it again.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
So that's the correction. That's true love. If you see a bus coming down the street right now, and your brother's standing in the middle of the street and don't see the bus, true love is saying, hey, bro, move out the way. Is the brother now going to get mad at you because you screamed at him? No, he's going to be like, hey, bro, thank you for telling me to move the hell out the way.
That's right.
If you would have whispered it to him, he wouldn't have seen the bus. Don't get caught up on us speaking loudly with a speaker. We got to drown out some of this music in our neighborhood right now that's talking about what? Killing, robbing, and stealing. Same thing, same thing, same thing. 1 Corinthians 15. Because all this music that we listen to, it has an effect on our mentality. Why do you think you see white folks getting married? Why you think you don't see white folks in the hood, in the ghettos, doing all these other crazy things? They're not listening to this music. Their music all the time is uplifting them. It's talking about, oh, I'm gonna go buy some land, I'm gonna have a farm, I'm gonna get me a good old wife, oh, she done broke my heart. Things of life, right? Not, oh, I'm gonna kill somebody. Read that.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 33. Be not deceived.
Read it again.
Be not deceived.
Don't be tricked. Listen up, brothers. Do not be tricked. Read.
Evil communications.
Evil communication. Anything evil that you're listening to, anything evil that you're looking at does what?
Corrupt good manners.
It goes against your true natural spirit. And when we're out of God's laws, when we're not in the spirit of the Most High God, when we're listening to things like what? Kodak Black, Young Thug, what? Young Nudie, all these different music is talking about killing and violence. And you wonder why these 10-year-olds out here playing with little toy guns.
Bring it out.
Where do you think they get that from? Where do you think a 10-year-old says, hey, let's all get together, let's get some toy AR-15s or some toy Glocks with extendos, run around the neighborhood and shoot? Where do you think they get that imagery from? This is what's pushed in the black community, and we should be shocked and upset at it. Deuteronomy 28:37. Bruh, that is crazy. What do you think that young man's gonna be doing when he's 18? You don't think he's gonna want to actually get something to actually shoot off?
Right.
You don't think when he turns 18, he gonna want to get something that actually does something? That way, when it's little, when someone piss him off, he can actually do something about it. Because that's what he see the men in the hood doing. He see them when they get mad, what? They shooting at somebody or they beating the hell out of somebody. Right. That's what the young generation is gonna do. Read it.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment.
God said we were going to become an astonishment because in our natural state, we are the gods on this earth.
That's right.
Jesus Christ is black. Right. The angels are black. The prophets are black. The Most High God is a black man.
That's right.
So when we became an astonishment, when we left that, we left from keeping God's laws, and now what? Now what's black culture? Hey, brother, what's black culture? What is black culture? What is it?
Check it out.
Hey, tell me something from black culture. Anything. Come on, let me get something. Anything for black culture. For example, white.
I'm just consuming a little knowledge, man. That's it. I'm just giving a little knowledge.
Okay.
That's it.
Is black culture world star hip hop? Right. Is black culture for the women weaves, crazy long eyelashes, crazy long nails, walking around in bonnets and trying to be ratchet? Not all the women, but a lot of our women are doing that. Yes or no? Okay, so now as a black man, right? It's not black culture said to be pants sagging down below the waist, big chain, living in the hood, but got plenty of money to buy a Gucci belt. All right, read it again.
Thou shalt become an astonishment.
God said we became an astonishment because before that we were ruling the earth. When you look and you see these movies of Jesus Christ and they got him as a white man walking around and you see King David having a big beautiful empire and it's a white man, that was us. We are the people of the Bible. We are the Israelites. But we become an astonishment because we're not keeping God's laws.
That's right.
Now we think it's cool to get shot and survive. Talk about, oh, that brother need to spin back. He a bad shooter. That's not cool to get shot at.
Right.
But that's not cool to say, hey, I'm going to be posted right here. Let me drop my location. Instagram Live. Come at me. But that's not cool. That is not cool. But that's what we're learning in the black community. Read on.
And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword.
A proverb, because we've been reduced to little wise sayings. The other nations, they look at us and they laugh and they joke. They say, hey, I'm the Chinese man. I'm finna go set up a fried chicken spot in the middle of the hood.
Bring it out.
Look at these niggas. That's all they do. They just eat fried chicken and watermelon. So I'm going to open up my store just like you got right there and not give no money back to the community. Is that not what they do? Show me where the black-owned businesses are at, where they're putting money back into the community. You're going to find 1 in a million. Maybe that barbershop. That's it. Ain't no other nations coming out here to help us. They making fun of us. They laughing at us. Read.
And a byword among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee.
And y'all should take this serious because it's not funny the condition we living in.
Right.
Bruh, when you sitting here right now, what is your first reaction if a car speed by, slam on the brakes and roll down the windows? What's your first reaction? You said what? They shooting, right? If I ask that to a white man, he gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna see what they want. Bruh, this is the conditions we living in.
Bring it out.
We living in fear every day, a lot of times of our own people. The brother earlier said, why don't we call the police? How you doing, sis? You good? Leviticus 5:1. The brother said earlier, why don't we call the police? We out here now to fix it, so we don't gotta call the police. What I gotta call the police for, if you take that weed, you take them drugs, you throw that stuff in the woods. What do we gotta call the police for? There ain't no need to if we apply God's laws.
That's right.
Leviticus 5.
The book of Leviticus chapter 5 and verse 1. And if a soul sin and hear a voice of swearing, and is a witness, whether he have been seen or known of it.
So if a soul sin, do y'all know what sin is? What is sin according to the Bible? My brother right there, what is sin? Anybody know? Let's get it. Because, hey, brother, is there not Christian churches all up along down here?
Right.
Plenty of them. But yet they not teaching what sin is.
Right.
They not teaching what Christ looked like. So how we got all these churches and we don't even know what sin is? And everybody say, oh, thou shalt not sin.
Right.
We don't even know what it is. Read it.
Bring it out.
The book of 1 John chapter 3 and verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin,
Whosoever does sin
transgresseth also the law.
breaks God's laws. Read.
For sin is the transgression of the law.
For you sin when you break God's laws. So if you commit adultery, if you sleeping with a woman you're not married to, if you're smoking weed, if you're getting drunk, if you're selling drugs, all those things are sin. You're breaking God's laws.
The scriptures say, where there is no vision, the people perish.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV.
Do you know history?
I'm going to show you and prove to you that the Israelites are black, were always black.
Dance for time, just move up your body. Don't get loose and groove on the body. Bruise, wine.
Put on the armor, the procedure complete. Me nah go back, nah retreat. All traitors, every Jezebel must get delete. Me no sleep on a demon, me keep a full clip. Conspire me downfall, cause them want see me slip. Stay close to the real ones, we seal off and legit. Cause I gotta use them to keep your soul from the pit. This a war life. I swear they
Breaking God's laws. Why? Why do you say that? Why can't you change? Titus 3:3. You said you ain't getting married? Bruh, I'm gonna meet you halfway. I can kind of understand that because what are the women you see? Do you see any marriageable women out here walking around? Right, you looking in the wrong places, bruh. If you become a godly man, what you gonna need? A godly what? a godly woman.
That's right.
But you got to become a godly man first.
Right.
Because I know I got a daughter, right? I'm not going to tell my daughter to marry any man that say, I guess I'm going to hell. You a God on this earth, bro.
That's right.
God gave you the kingdom. If you continue to sin, you're going to block yourself out of that. Read.
The book of Titus, chapter 3 and verse 3.
Hey, you see? We think that's funny. We think that's cool. Ha ha, kiki. And then we want to say RIP when a brother really think you got something, he lights you up. Bro, that's not funny. They don't do this in Lake Nona. They don't do this in the rich neighborhoods. And then we wonder, and what happened when the police pull up? What happened when the police pull up? And they say, oh, I thought it was real. Brother, does that not happen? When the police pull up and say, I thought it was real, so I put 3 in the chest and 1 in the head.
Sit on the side of the road, not black truck.
Right. I'm saying, and is he going to say anything?
No.
Right, okay. Now, if that happened in a white neighborhood, would they say something?
Get out.
Hell yeah.
Y'all seen them ride by and they had them toy guns out the window, right? Y'all know that happened in Cleveland not too long ago with a little boy, a black boy that had the toy gun, and what the police do to Tamir Rice?
Bring it out.
What they do to Tamir Rice? How we gonna laugh at that? Nobody out here will laugh at Tamir Rice.
Bring it out.
But we see our young brothers doing it, and guess what? We done seen the police roll by multiple times. Any one of them could be a Tamir Rice. We pray not, but who gonna stand up and correct it before it becomes another one?
Bring it out.
We laugh at it until Tamir Rice happens. Because we think it's a joke. But guess what? All that's in the Bible too. Give me that. Cause watch it. Everything we going through is biblical. It's biblical. We got to stop turning a blind eye to that. That's our young brothers right there.
Right.
We don't want to see nothing happen to them.
Right.
We rather be able to talk with them, build them up, and be like, yo, y'all going the wrong route. We can't keep turning a blind eye and laughing at stuff like that.
Right.
Like I said, nobody laughed at Tamir Rice, Mike Brown, Trayvon Martin. That happened right here in Sanford.
Right.
Nobody laughs at that. But when they setting themselves up to be put in that position, somehow it's a joke to us. That don't make no sense. Read the Bible.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 5.
Read.
Whose possessors slayed them and hold themselves not guilty.
The very same people who took us as a possession, put us on them slave ships, whipped our back to no end, left their last names on us to make us indicative of still being property to this day. It said they slay us and do what?
And hold themselves not guilty.
And when they do it, they hold themselves not guilty because we take it for a joke.
Right.
We laughing at it. They know they gonna do it, and then we gonna march and say Black Lives Matter for about 30 days. And then we gonna be right back on the block laughing at our young brothers riding down the street with fake guns, learning how to be thugs.
Bring it out.
Read it. Read what you just said.
Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
Watch this. Watch this, y'all. Listen to this. Read what it says.
The killing of Tamir Rice on November 22nd, 2014. Tamir Rice, a 12-year-old African-American boy.
12-year-old. Some of these young boys we see riding around here in Sanford tonight probably that age.
Right.
Read.
Was killed in Cleveland, Ohio.
Why?
By Timothy Lowman, a 26-year-old white police officer. Rice was carrying a replica toy gun.
He was carrying what?
A replica toy gun.
He was carrying what?
A replica toy gun.
What are young brothers riding around on the streets carrying right now that we laughing at?
A replica toy gun.
Replica toy guns. When these police catch up to them, they ain't gonna play with them.
Right.
We gotta stop playing with our kids, y'all.
Right.
We gotta stand up and correct the issues in our communities.
Right.
If not us, who? They ain't gonna come down, and the police ain't gonna come down here and be like, hey, y'all know y'all the Israelites should be keeping the commandments and not acting like that? Yeah. Nah, they gonna come down here and blow your head off.
Right.
And not even question it because they hold themselves not guilty. Right. No jail time. These people that do this, they live in large right now. They gave them a pension, they hook them up with secret little funds, GoFundMe, and they send them on vacation for the rest of their life.
Bring it out.
While we march for a month and then go back to laughing at the foolishness.
Right.
It's time for us to stand up, be men, correct the issues that are going on in your communities. That is the job of the black man in the community.
That's right.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.